All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, very excited to be talking to one of the very best super welterweights in the boxing game today. Huge presence in the ring, but also making his presence known in terms of mental health and advocating for some great efforts like that. And I'm very happy to be welcoming Erickson Lubin onto the program. How's your day going so far, man?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great getting to talk to you, and I wanted to talk about the mental health aspects that I mentioned there. Like, it seems like that's a strong point of importance for you. Just it seems like it's very important for you in a lot of regards. Can you kind of talk about when that first, I guess, really started resonating with you and wanting to use your platform for those kind of efforts?
I always thought about it like, people battling mental health, especially when the Ryan Garcia situation happened, where he pretty much posted on social media about him having mental health and pulling out the fight. Some people were bashing him for it. I feel like, you shouldn't really go into the ring or do something that you love or do your job, like, with mental health, battling mental health. So I feel like it's important. It's important to go into the ring, at least for me, with a clear mind. So and it's mental health awareness month as well. So, I think it's important that we shine some light to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like there's a bit more of a shift in the space in that regard. Like you were kind of touching on it there, like with Ryan Garcia, there were certain people that were, detractors and kind of coming at it with like almost an antiquated kind of viewpoint. But I felt like there was a certain level of presence in people, getting behind that and understanding that. And also a guy like Tyson Fury, I feel like has kind of turned into sort of a case like that. So like, how important is it for you to, I guess, do your part in trying to, be a catalyst to enact that sort of change and freely talk about just different mental health hindrances that, all humans go through to varying degrees?
I'm just I'll keep doing, as much as I could to, try to convince, people that are, against it, I guess you could say. But, yeah, I think it's important, especially that it's, Mental Health Awareness Month. I think it's also important. So, it's just an important subject all across the board for me.
Yeah, and I feel like in many ways, as much as boxing is a very physical sport, I feel like it's a very cerebral sport too, in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, back when you...
Yeah, it's definitely mental. Boxing is very mental. I think it's, they say it's 90% mental and really 10% physical.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you've shown that in a lot of different regards though too, because like, I mean, like previous losses and stuff like that, like circa 2017, like it felt like you very much made a lot of like wholesale changes to get back on track and everything like that. So that sounds like very cerebral, like oriented to like a psychological, like mapped out approach.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like that's something that can, definitely be applied to, this situation right now. Just, I mean, coming off of like a very high octane kind of fight, and then you had the message after saying, I bounced back before, I'm going to do it again. There ain't no quit in me. Like, what's the, I guess, general feeling at this juncture, just removed a little bit from that Sebastian Fundora fight where both of you guys had your moments throughout?
I mean, I knew it was a great fight, but, people were giving me some good feedback, so I feel like that was like it helped a little bit. I guess you could say it helped a little bit because I don't like to lose, and I was a little down before. But what helped me cheer up a little bit was just people, being very supportive more than ever. People support me now than when I won, than when I'm winning. Like then the Rosario fight, people are supporting me more now than those other fights. I guess they're happy to see me lose or something. I don't know what it is, but I guess it's just the fight that we put on. They it was for the fans. The fans won that night.
Yeah, no, there was a great level of, rapport between you guys that I thought was cool. Like, even after the fight, I saw Sebastian saying that he hopes you recover from whatever, damage might have been accrued in the fight. And also interesting, you guys had a personalized kind of backstory with each other, like, Fundora's dad taking you to boxing tournaments and all that.
My father used to take me to tournaments as a kid, so, I saw them the next morning and everything. We took pictures and stuff, so,
Yeah, that strikes me as like a rematch that could also happen, like even down the line where there could be different like titles on the line and stuff like that. Is that kind of how you're looking at the fight? Because it seems like a fight where both of you guys almost got a great deal out of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm definitely interested in a rematch with him. You know, it was a great fight. Um, you know, but I'm also looking to fight. You know, I'm not wanting any tune-ups. I'm talking about, you know, my next fight. I'm not looking for a tune-up fight. So I want to fight the best guys.
Yeah, I saw you had tweeted that out as well, just like pretty succinct with the no tune-ups message there, but then also just like, yeah, I mean, the mental fortitude again in the confluence of like the physicality too. I saw you also had a message saying you'd separated the AC joint in your shoulder in your, you know, last fight, like you posted that May 12th there and everything like that, and then said thank God there's no surgery there. But there was another message that I kind of wanted certain insights on because I kind of got fired up when I saw it, but I think context might be necessary. You had the tweet where you were saying my urges for revenge are uncontrollable. Like what were you thinking there on May 3rd when you put that up? Like what's the root of that?
Well, that's some lyrics I heard. I felt that way. I could relate, so I just posted it. But it's true. It is true. You know, I'm still looking to fight Charlo. I'm still looking to, you know, I want to fight the best guys. Still looking for a rematch with Fundora. That's just where I'm at with it. That's just how I am. I'm competitive and I want to be the best.
Yeah, and just to the point of that competitive mindset, I imagine this is a very enjoyable time for you just with the depth at 154 pounds and everything like that. Like it seems like there's innumerable great tests you can have going forward.
Yep. Yeah, the 154-pound division is definitely competitive. I think it's the most competitive in boxing.
Yeah, super fun to watch from my perspectives as like a media person and just general fan kind of following there. But you mentioned, you know, Jermell Charlo and, you know, former opponent of yours now in that undisputed championship distinction there. Like what were your thoughts on that whole fight, just the Brian Castano rematch and the performance overall?
I think it was a great fight. I think, you know, the first fight was amazing. The second fight was, you know, it was great. I think Charlo, you know, you just got to give respect when it's due, where it's due. Charlo, he did his thing for sure. You know, he came back in the rematch and did what he said he was going to do. Said he was going to knock him out. He knocked him out. It's a great fight.
Yeah, incredibly exciting fight to watch for sure, and just, you know, cool to see certain like unified opportunities happening and stuff like that too, because I mean, just so many great fights lately in the boxing space, and a lot of like the fights fans really wanting to see getting made and stuff like that. So I imagine, you know, that's exciting all around for, you know, everybody involved.
Right.
But yeah, something that I'd kind of seen that I thought was interesting. I mean, this was years ago at this point, but just the fact that you'd signed on with Lil Wayne there for the Young Money APAA sports venture there. Like, what was that all like? Did you ever have any like moments interacting with Lil Wayne, or was it more like adjacent like business, you know, representatives of his that you kind of worked with there?
I mean, we didn't really follow through with the deal. We were just meeting with them. We took pictures in the gym and stuff. So I guess everyone felt like it was like something was inked. I didn't sign to him.
So there was no interaction with Lil Wayne at all. I guess like I saw the headline and I was kind of like, oh, that would be sort of interesting if there was that interaction. But like I said, could easily be the.
We spoke to them. We spoke to the whole team. We spoke to Mac Main. Spoke to, you know, the people part of Young Money. So yeah, we never signed with them. They wanted to do some marketing with us and stuff like that.
So like a positive interaction in general, but just didn't manifest into anything kind of after the fact?
Yeah.
No, that's fair for sure, man. And we've been talking about some of the different people you've been able to, you know, fight and test skills against. Like, I mean, yeah, a great resume there. Like Nathaniel Gallimore is a, you know, guy like Ishai Smith stopping him and everything like that. Like, is there any like ideal next fight you would kind of like to have there? Because it seems like the injuries you sustained in the last fight were largely superficial. Like, who would you kind of want to test skills with next, and when do you think that would be ideally?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I will fight anybody. I will fight anybody. If the rematch was next, that's what I'm getting ready for. If it's Charlo, if it's Castaño, if it's Tim Tszyu, it's whatever. If it's Tony Harrison.
Yeah, so many great opportunities for sure. So have you gotten any kind of like clear ahead as to when your next fight would be? Is there any kind of like, because like I said, it seemed like the, account of your damage was like largely superficial. So
I'll be fighting around the end of the year. I'll be getting back in there. I'm gonna do some more therapy on my shoulder, and after therapy, just see what's next for me. See if we could go in at the end of the year with one of these top guys.
Yeah, I mean, very exciting. Whoever you're gonna fight next, I imagine it's gonna be a big fight, and like we were saying before, no tune-ups for sure. But I mean, in talking about the mental health and some of the advocacy there, like there's been definite stories of like, I mean, Tyson Fury talking about people like interacting with him and being like, yeah, like you were very helpful in like a kind of darker period, gave some great insights into like where I'm at and how I can kind of get out of it. Have you had any like fans connecting with you by chance where they're like, hey man, you talking about this has been like very beneficial to my own mental health journey? Like, is there that kind of like rapport with some of the fans?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, can you repeat the question for me? I was getting a phone call.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I was just saying, like, a guy like Tyson Fury has come out with anecdotal accounts where people have been like, oh yeah, I really appreciate you talking about your mental health situation. It's really helped me, like, in my own kind of situation there. Have you had any kind of, like, interaction like that with different fans where...
I get them all the time. People on Instagram, they're always writing me and stuff like that, like, fans from everywhere, and just, like, telling me what they're happy about, like what I'm doing for the community, like, talking about mental health, or I'll give them some advice. They'll ask me questions, and I'll just give them advice, or, and they appreciate stuff like that. So, I do it from time to time. I do it all the time, honestly.
Yeah, I think that would almost be like mutually beneficial, though. Like, I would think that would give you a certain level of like esteem and pride and positive energy just, going off of that. So it sounds like a, great interaction all around.
That's just who I am. I'm not really a stuck-up person. So like if you could help somebody, why not?
No, that's definitely fair, man. I just feel like sometimes like there's certain people that don't necessarily use their platform in that kind of way. And like, I mean, whatever, people are free to kind of use their platform and profile however they want to. But I just think that's a cool thing that you're doing. It seems like very, mindful of other people's situations and everything like that. So a level of like altruism to it that I think is cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. And yeah, something I also thought was kind of interesting there. It was a bit of a tweet you had there a little while ago and whatnot. You were saying Jackie Chan don't be killing nobody in his movies. He's just kicking their ass. Like, what kind of Jackie Chan movies were you watching there? Like, I'm kind of curious about that.
No, I was watching Rush Hour, and I just saw him kicking everybody's ass, not killing them. I'm like, damn, he just like to fight.
Can you sort of relate to that, just like steady kicking people's asses and whatnot? Like, it's like, I mean, you think like in the movie he'd want to go the full mile, but it's, yeah.
Say it again.
No, it's just kind of funny. Like, I get what you mean, because like when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I guess realistically, like combing through the Jackie Chan movies I've seen, it's like he definitely doesn't really kill anybody. He'll just like beat up like 30 some odd dudes and then kind of just like roll out thereafter.
He'll be fighting like 10 people at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny tweet. Definitely like a light kind of went off in my head when you posted that. It's like, yeah, you know what? I can't really cite one movie where he's like, followed through and done that. I feel like that's the trope in like a lot of kung fu movies, though. Now that you kind of bring that up there, just like 50 bodies in the back, but everyone's like still kind of good to go at the end of it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely a funny observation. Social media can be fun sometimes for stuff like that, but you've been really good with your time, man. Been really cool getting to talk to you, but I want to be mindful of your schedule and all that too, Erickson. So to that point, is there anything you might want to add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here?
Not really. Thanks for having me, man. I'll be back in the ring soon. Just gonna, finish up some therapy, heal my shoulder and everything. My face was the one really marked up, but there's nothing really wrong with my face. Like, I just had a little hairline fracture. I'm okay. So, once I finish up some therapy, I'm gonna be trying to get back in there.
Yeah, well, super looking forward to that because, like I said from the top, one of the very best super welterweights in the world today. So your next fight definitely going to be one that, the entire boxing world is going to be super stoked about for sure. And yeah, to reiterate, thanks for coming on the show, man. It was awesome getting to chat, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day too, Erickson.
You as well. Thanks for having me.